Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only our rivals team and moves was a fun and crazy one, but it's been a while since we did a classic single Pokemon run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Emerald with a team of only one Tropius. So Tropius is a pretty interesting one. First, for its stats, it's not half bad, actually having higher stats than most of what we typically use in single Pokemon runs. Over on the moves though, we can see that the variety isn't great. There's a few decent moves here, but we're a flying and grass type, so not learning any better flying moves isn't great. By TM we unlock a bit more type coverage, but not any of the types that I really need. We might just end up using Razor Leaf most of the game. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm pretty sure that we can win, but having a double weakness to ice is probably going to mean that we get brick-walled for ages in the Elite Four. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Tropius. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Trico with Tropius so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Trico so that our rival would have Torchic, probably the hardest for us to fight. For the name, I went with the person who most recently replied to one of my tweets, so thank you for that, Kristen. We'd be here forever if I had to come up with something myself. I am drawing a blank. Rash nature, so more special attack and less special defense. I'm a little bit worried about ice and fire moves because of that, but the boost to grass will be nice. Chlorophyll isn't the best ability, but maybe I could do something with Sunny Day and Solar Beam later. Also, we start with Leer and Gust, with Gust being the only flying move we learn by level up. And of course, Leer is the best move ever, as we learned from last week's run with our rivals team in Pokemon Red. This actually looks pretty usable. Naturally, a bunch of the early game goes great. I mean, we're flying and grass type, we're super effective against the first two gyms. I predict that the electric gym might be pretty hard though. I guess we'll see when we get there. By the time we get to the rock gym, we've already got Razor Leaf, so the two Geodudes go down fast. Nosepass is harder due to the solo rock typing, and we're actually weak to her rock tomb, so I was worried. We kept hitting hard and she kept finding ways to heal, but eventually we nailed a crit to win the fight. After that, I rush right to the fighting gym. I want to see if Gust is enough to win us that whole fight. Machop is first, but two Gusts quickly take him down. Meditite is second, and right away he uses Reflect and Light Screen to protect himself. Then he starts using potions to stay healthy. It takes a while, but between his effect moves, items, and him failing to use Focus Punch over and over, he went down. Not before he set up another Reflect though. Last is Makihita, and Gust isn't doing as much as it should thanks to Reflect. It really doesn't help that Makihita starts off by using Bulk Up a bunch to beef up his attack and defense, so Gust got pretty weak. Eventually, I ended up going for Razor Leaf to bypass the defense raises, and we ended up getting the knockout with a crit. So the next couple major fights of the game is our first challenging rival fight in the Electric Gym. The Electric Gym is usually especially hard, so I made sure to fight a decent amount of the trainers on my way. I also picked up the Silk Scarf to power up our Stomp a little bit. Hopefully we'll be strong enough to brute force it when we get there, but the Steel type on this team has me a little bit worried. First though is the rival fight. Wingull is first, and it started great with her missing our first Supersonic, but the second one landed so we did hit ourselves. Thanks to that, we took a wing attack before finishing her off. Second is Kabuskin, who starts with Focus Energy. Gust does great damage, but so does Amber. We took him down but only have 16 health left. Thankfully, last was Lombre, and she really can't do anything serious to us, so two Gusts get us the win. The Electric Gym fight starts decently with Voltorb using Shockwave and it dealing very little damage as we one-shot him with a crit. Electrike isn't much worse considering he wasted his time with stuff like Howl. It's when Magneton came out that I really got worried. He doesn't deal great damage to us, but he deals reliable damage thanks to Sonic Boom. Us, on the other hand, did very little. That's alright, there's a lot of trainers in this area. Let's come back a few levels higher. The grind here is pretty easy so far. Tropius has higher stats than I'm used to, so it feels a little strange to be dealing this much damage without a big level lead. That said, we're not that strong. We're not exactly in a great position to go overpowering a bunch of gym leaders' Pokemon that resist us. Tropius doesn't learn many moves with decent power, so the extra stats are really going to help us. Also, would you look at this random trainer battle? That's gotta be the worst confusion luck I've had in a long while. Even after getting a few levels from trainers in the area and using growth a few times though, we still can't take down Magneton. He just spams super potions like you wouldn't believe. Okay, just a few more levels and we can probably just overpower him? It's not like there's any good TMs at this point anyway, and I'm not resorting to Rock Smash. Finally, a few levels later, and the attempts actually got harder since now Voltorb just uses self-destruct every time. Thankfully, by the time we got to Magneton, we lucked out and just finally landed a crit with Razor Leaf for a one-shot. Last was Magnetric, and our health was super low, but between Growth and Razor Leaf, we were strong enough to finally win this fight. Okay, quite a bit of traveling to do at this point. The next major battles are Maxie and the Fire Gym, so two trainers who are super effective against us. On the upside, it's not many more levels until we can get Body Slam, and that's a solid upgrade from Stomp. Plus, some of the fire Pokemon will be fighting are Fire and Ground, so at least they won't resist Razor Leaf. Honestly, I'm still mostly just worried about getting one-shot by Overheat. I could see that happening. Maxie time. Mighty N is first, so we lose attack to Intimidate right away. Because of that, I decided to start using Growth instead to build up our special attack. As soon as he used Sand Attack, though, I just finished it with Razor Leaf. We ended up missing a bit through the fight because of that, but really, we only took a bit of damage from his Zubat. Overall, just wasn't that bad. It's time for the Fire Gym, though. First is Numel, who we almost take down in one Razor Leaf. She held on thanks to a Hyper Potion healing her, but two Stomps took her out fast. Camerupt is second, and probably could have dealt great damage if she didn't just use Tackle twice. That was weird. Third was Slugma, who nearly went down in a single Stomp before making it Sunny. Well, the Sun powers up her fire moves, but it also increases our speed thanks to our ability, so we just stomped him down. Last is Torkoal, but the strong Sunlight powered her up, letting her easily finish us off with Overheat. Honestly, she probably didn't even need the Sunlight to finish me off. Stomp actually did pretty well for us in this fight, so I decided to go get the TM for Return to upgrade it. Yeah, we can't get flinches anymore, but the damage this lets us deal is a lot more reliable anyway. Even after showing back up with Return and trying many times though, we had no luck. We get all the way to Torkoal with just about full health, and she'll just use Sunny Day and one-shot us with Overheat. If Return with the Silk Scarf isn't strong enough, then I'll just have to level up more. Grinding here always reminds me of the old Emerald Wobbuffet challenge from, I think about 2 years ago now? Weird how time flies. It's a terrible place to grind since there's so little room to move, but at least it's near the gym. Now, I was about to tell you about how I tried this fight over and over and just kept losing the same way, until this really weird attempt where Flannery just kept using Body Slam instead of, you know, doing her move that would have one-shot me. So we won. That was weird. Hold on, I have to go exchange my bike real quick. On my way over to the normal gym, I took the root fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Look at the border of the text box. You'll notice it changes from run to run. That's how you can tell that I actually re-record this footage each time. It's a dumb gag, but you guys seem to have fun with it, so I'm having fun with it too. Right, normal gym. First is Spinda, so I take my chance to start building up growth. He was hardly hurting us, so I just built up 3, then Razor Leafed him down. Vigoroth was faster and did some damage with Slash, but no crits, so we used Razor Leaf to one-shot him. On Lanoon, we ended up taking more damage than expected thanks to missing Razor Leaf. That's a 95 accuracy move, by the way. Ouch. Last was Slacking, who hit us with Facade to take us down to only 5 health before going down to 2 Razor Leafs. That was closer than I expected for a normally simple fight. With that done, we have to ride our way up to the Flying Gym. I'm not exactly pumped for that fight. We're weak to flying, they've got Aerial Ace so they won't miss, and I know she's got Skarmory. Considering they all resist Razor Leaf, I think using it and growth might be out of the question. I don't know, it might be required for Skarmory, honestly. We don't have to do that gym next, but it unlocks Fly, and that would be really helpful for speeding up backtracking, so it's at least worth a try. First though, the other rival fight. Like always, this fight goes super easy. I mean, the worst she could have done was use fire moves, but it's raining here, so it would have been weaker than normal anyway. Easy fight. We're at the Flying Gym. Swablu was first, and it was hardly doing any damage, so I decided I would just get some growths and give it a try anyway. knowing that it might work for Skarmory. Swablu ended up wasting most of her chances to hurt us by using Mirror Move on Growth and having it fail. If she just used Aerial Ace the whole time, we probably would have lost. After getting all 6 growths, we one-shot it with Razor Leaf. Pelipper was another one-shot, and next was her Tropius, so I just went for Gust. She used Sunny Day, but that speeds up both of us, so we just finished her off. Alteria's next and she resists Grass, so I went for Return, just a crit for nearly a one-shot. She ended up using a Hyper Potion, but 2 returns took her down. Last is Skarmory, and she resists all of her moves, so Razor Leaf is the best we've got. With 6 growths, it did half of her health and damage, although Sand Attack made us miss the follow-up. The one after that hit for the knockout. I'm just happy we even have growth. That could have been really rough. We're starting to get into a pretty travel-heavy part of the game. Lots of trainers, lots of bad guy hideouts, and a lot of water. I'm still fighting everything I pass for the most part, though. I need the levels. I'm worried about the next Maxie fight because of his Crobat. Plus, the Psychic Gym is usually awful in these runs. Razor Leaf should be pretty good since it's super effective against a lot of their team, but it's also a 2-on-1 fight, so I don't want to make any hasty assumptions that that'll go smoothly. Maxie fight time. First is Mightyena, so our attack is down the whole fight from Intimidate. Right away we nail Razor Leaf for good damage, he misses Swagger, and the next Razor Leaf brings him to yellow health. Then we missed another Razor Leaf, lost speed to Scary Face, then got confused by Swagger next turn. Well, at least we got some attack out of it. Mightyena went down, so it's out to Camerupt. It started rough with us hitting ourselves and taking some damage from his Rock Slide, but once we landed some hits, he went down fast. Last was Crobat, who did great damage with Wing Attack. Our return almost one-shot it, but then we went down to an Air Cutter. Okay, if it wasn't for confusion at the start, I think we could have won that. On the next try, we get back to Crobat with a bit more health. I thought we were still going to just end up going down thanks to hitting ourselves in confusion, but instead of finishing us off, Maxie started using Super Potions. Well, we do more damage than it could heal, so we won. Okay, so the next major fight is the Psychic Gym, but since it's a 2-on-2 battle, they won't let us in without a second Pokemon. No problem, we just catch our customary Magikarp to keep in the spirit of the challenge. Double battles like this are a bit hard to recap, so bear with me. Right away, Magikarp gets hit by Psychic and goes down, as Claydol does an Earthquake that literally hits nobody. I went after Xatu first, but they ended up switching out to Solrock early. Weird move. Well, I went for Razor Leaf since it hits the whole enemy team, and ended up critting Solrock for a one-shot, so Xatu came back out. Psychic wasn't hitting us too hard, but Xatu was using Calm Mind, so he was still our top priority. Claydol put up a Light Screen though, so our Razor Leaf wasn't as strong. It still crit to one-shot Claydol, but Lunatone didn't take as much damage. I was feeling really good knowing that I whittled them down to a 1-on-1 so fast, but Lunatone ended up using Calm Mind and Psychic to take us down. Oh, and we missed another Razor Leaf, because of course we did. After clearing out the trainers to the south, we tried again with 4 more levels. This time we crit return on the first turn to take out Xatu early, without having to get hurt on the first round. Claydol still does Light Screen early, but Solrock makes it sunny, so I have to be careful. The next Razor Leaf leaves both of them still standing, so we get rocked by Flamethrower and Psychic, losing almost half of our health. The next Razor Leaf missed Claydol when it would have knocked him out because of course it did, but at least Solrock went down. I was thinking this attempt was doomed, but Claydol went down and Lunatone used Calm Mind, so we still have a chance. We hit Razor Leaf to hurt him a bit, his Psychic brings us to red health, Light Screen fades, and our very next Razor Leaf takes him down. Man, that one's always rough. With that done, we just have the Archie fight between us and the Water Gym. Like usual, our attack is down the whole fight, and right away we lost speed thanks to Scary Face. We ended up getting more attack from Swagger, but I still just built up growth early. We hit ourselves in confusion and ended up losing a lot of health, but then we snapped out of it and Razor Leafed him down. Crobat is second, but thanks to Swagger and him wasting time with Super Potions, we easily two-shot him. Last was Sharpedo, who obviously is a one-shot with Razor Leaf. Not bad. Now it's time for the Water Gym. First is Love Disc, who I'm really not worried about, so I just started spamming out growth. We were confused, but other than that, Love Disc was hitting Water Pulse for 5 damage, so I wasn't really worried. After 3 growths, we took it down with Razor Leaf. After that was Celio, who was a one-shot, then it's out to Kingdra. He started with Double Team, and he survived a Razor Leaf before using a Hyper Potion. We hit return, he hit us with a 4 times effective Ice Beam that nearly took us out, then we finished him off. Whiscash and Crawdaunt were both last, but both were one-shots. Man, ice moves really mess us up. Alright, all that's left before the Elite Four is the Wally fight. First is Altaria, and she quad resists grass. It ends up going pretty well as 2 returns take her out, but not before losing some health. Roselia naturally went down in 1 gust, and Delcatty wasn't exactly an issue with a few Razor Leaves. Magneton had me worried since he resisted us and we don't resist Thunderbolt, but after trading shots we managed to brute force him. Last was Gardevoir, who let off a Future Sight, took return, psychicked us down to only 15 health, then they fainted. That was a lot closer than it usually is for Wally. Okay, with that done and some trainers fought in Victory Road, here's our stats. Honestly, it's not looking great. There's an Ice Trainer in the Elite Four, and I'm kinda thinking it's just gonna be a one-shot, especially if they make it Hail. Maybe we could learn Steel Wing for it, but I really don't think that's gonna win it. This hasn't been a very grindy run so far, so I don't mind getting just a few more levels. As for moves, we could replace Gust with Aerial Ace, but I'm not even sure that we'll need that anymore. I don't think we need flying moves at this point. It might make sense to just go with Sunny Day and Solar Beam. I've got enough ethers that I could do either one of them on every Elite Four member if I wanted, although the Dragon Trainer has some Pokemon that I don't think that'll work on. I think we'll just try the Elite Four and see how far we get in before replacing any moves. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Dark Trainer Sydney, right away, Mightyena, so we lose attack to Intimidate, so I Growth right off the bat. We used 1 Growth, got hit by a weak Double Edge, then took him down with Razor Leaf. Against Absol, we actually almost got a one-shot, but he just used Swords Dance. I went to use Gust to finish him off while saving some power points, when he actually survived, hit us for tons of damage, and then used a full restore. Well, I should have thought that one through a little more. The next Razor Leaf finished it. Why did I bother trying to save 1 power point there? I have so many ethers and elixirs, that was stupid. Shiftry was out next, so I went for Return for Raw Power. We ended up getting hurt a bit and had Torment set on us, so no more using 2 of the same move in a row. Thanks to that, I have to Gust Cacturn, but it does great. We took him down in a few hits, but our health is in the red. Thankfully, last is Crawdaunt, who is a one-shot with Razor Leaf. I'd say it's time to replace Gust, but I'm not sure that I actually need a different move. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe. First is her Dusclops, who likes to spam Protect and whittle down your power points with pressure. So I just took the chance to build up growths, knowing that she can't hit very hard with her first Dusclops anyway. After 3 growths, we do Razor Leaf and miss. Because of course we did. Then we fail some more Razor Leafs to protect before finally landing a one-shot. The second Dusclops hangs on and hits an Ice Beam for a decent chunk of our health before going down to the follow-up. After that was 2 Bayonets and a Sableye, but they were all one-shots, so it wasn't too bad. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia. First is Celio, so I started building growth, but Ice Ball did a ton of damage to us right away, so after 1 growth, I just one-shot Celio with Razor Leaf. The second Celio was also a one-shot, as was her Walrein that came out right after, believe it or not. Fourth is Glalie, though, who easily brings us to a Sliver with Ice Beam. Yeah, we don't stand a chance with this strategy. They just hit us too hard with those Ice Beams. Okay, so what we learned from that failure is that we're not going to win this without the speed advantage. If 1 Ice Beam from Glalie hits that hard, then it just makes much more sense to be faster, get there with a bit more health, and win that way. We actually did pretty solid damage, so I don't think we'll need to learn Steel Wing, although I still can't find a great move to replace Gust. Earthquake is strong, but I don't think we actually need a ground move. Do you think Sunny Day, Razor Leaf, Solar Beam, and Return would be too weighted towards grass? Maybe, but I think I want to give that a try. After a few tries of trying to find out the timing for Sunny Day, we got this run where I Razor Leaf to take down the first Celio, then use Sunny Day on the second one. She instantly replaced it with Hail, so we just had to make it sunny again, giving her a chance to nearly one-shot us with Blizzard. But after that, we just went through and one-shot the entire rest of her team with Solar Beam. Solar Beam doesn't need a turn to charge if it's sunny, so I had to make sure that it stayed sunny during the Glalie parts of the fight in order to win. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drake. First is Shelgon, and he's pretty weak. He's just a stalling Pokemon. I don't have growth anymore to power up with, so I just used Return until he went down. For Flygon, it hit us with Flamethrower, Then we made it Sunny to give us the speed advantage and to one-shot him with Solar Beam. Alteria's out and he quad resists grass, so instead of Solar Beam, I just went with 2 returns. He kept building Dragon Dance and healing with a full restore. By the time the sun went down, we lost our speed advantage and ended up taking damage, but at least he went down. Salamence is out next, so our attack is down to Intimidate. That's when he hits us with Flamethrower to nearly take us down. We hit return to do very little damage, and I realize that we're completely outmatched. We go down fast. Okay, we need to do a serious grind. We ran into a Pokemon who double resists grass, powers up his fire moves off our Sunny Day, and drops our attack with Intimidate, so our return is weaker. That pretty much is the perfect counter to us, so we have no choice but to get stronger. This grind is pretty slow, but I've had worse. It's just a shame that I don't have a ton of time this week thanks to last week's challenge running long. Let's just hope that at the end of this, we're ready to win. After tons of grinding, we get back to Drake at level 81. I did 15 attempts before we finally got one where we reached Salamence with full health. But even without having taken a single hit, he just beats us by spamming Flamethrower. If he didn't have a berry, this wouldn't be an issue. Man, our typing is really rough for this. 5 levels later and we get back to Salamence with full health again. I was thinking that maybe we could just finally beat him by trading shots, when we finally suddenly crit him to one-shot him. After that is Kingdra, but even without Sunny Day, we easily got him with Solar Beam for a one-shot. We finally beat this awful fight. Finally, the Pokemon champion Wallace. Wailord is first, so right away we make it Sunny, and he misses Blizzard. It's a good thing he did, because that would have really messed us up. Might have been a one-shot. One Solar Beam took him down. Second is Melodic, so right away we just Solar Beam to take him down too. Third is Tentacruel, but Solar Beam isn't a one-shot thanks to him being part poison, so we ended up getting nailed for 100 damage with Ice Beam. He full restored, so the second Solar Beam didn't finish him either, but he just kept using full restores. The sun faded, so we just hit 2 returns for the knockout. Ludicolo's next, so I made it Sunny again while he used Double Team. Stressful, but better than Toxic. One Solar Beam hit, knocking him out. Whiscash was obviously a one-shot with Solar Beam, and last was Water Onix. Solar Beam won't be super effective against him, but it's still our best move, so we use it, and one-shot him anyway, giving us an easy first try on the Pokemon champion. With Wallace down, we get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but the video's not quite over yet. I don't have a ton of time this week, since the last week's challenge ran so long, but I want to take at least a few fair tries at the post-game fight with Steep & Stone. I'm gonna learn Earthquake, grind up just a couple levels, and eat all of our rare candy to max out. Then I'll make some attempts. So I tried this quite a few times, but we already got stuck right at the start. We have literally no moves that are good against a Steel and Flying type, and no matter how many times I try, we can't get past the first Skarmory. We always just get hit by Toxic. It's a real shame too, because we have moves that would work pretty well against most of his team. I just don't have a good move for Skarmory. Also, I don't really have time to sit here forever with something like Double Team, so I think we're gonna have to just call the run here. That was a reasonable run. The grinding got really bad near the end, but at least we ended up winning. I'm just surprised the Pokemon champion was a first try. I kinda thought we'd miss or something, you know how it goes. I really hope you guys like that run. No challenge set in stone for next week. I'm gonna try and take the week to catch up on some longer challenge stuff, as well as some side projects I've been working on. Don't worry, I'll always do at least 3 challenges a month regardless. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek and Goosit, playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, we're doing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and I'm doing the Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color. God, these bits are getting wordy. Also, come to the Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.